Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services. Discover how to grow your business with social media marketing in today's session with Billie Sharp. Now, Billie Sharp is the queen of social media marketing, and she is your catalyst for success and inspiration. As a powerhouse entrepreneur with 5 thriving businesses, Billie blends a decade of upper management experience with the spirit of innovation. When Billie speaks, her words resonate deeply, leaving audiences not just motivated, but truly empowered to reach their full potential. With a robust social media presence of over 80,000 followers and features in more than 300 media outlets, Billie's influence is undeniable. Her story and insights ignite the fire of ambition and drive success, making her a force to be reckoned with in the business world. First question is, what's the secret to your success?
That's a really, really great question. Thank you so much for having me today. I think the secret to success is yourself. You really have to believe in yourself and get out of your own way. Nobody can fix that for you. You have to be the one to drive forward. You can be the most motivated person in the world, but some people, I know I personally was afraid of success. I had fear of success, not fear of failure. So I think recognizing those within you and fixing those things is a great way to drive success.
Thank you. What's your blueprint to becoming an awakened titan? And how did that lead towards you becoming the queen of social media marketing and helping hundreds of companies with their social media?
Yeah, of course. I think that there was a book, this is really funny. So there's a book called The Awakened Woman by Dr. Tarari Trent. And I actually think that that's where my awakened journey began, to tell you the truth, because it really makes you look inside at all of those things. And business is you. So it wasn't actually, I had all the business skills I needed to be successful in business, but I was definitely standing in my own way. So really looking at all of those things inside of me, understanding myself better, understanding my dreams, my goals, my passion, what absolutely set my soul on fire was what was important for me to be able to move and grow forward and become an absolute titan in the business world.
Thank you. Can you tell us about your journey of how you became a business titan and how did you get involved with social media marketing?
Yeah, of course. So I began just doing small business coaching was what I started out doing. That was my go-to thing. I had a great corporate career and decided I just wanted more time and more freedom with my family. So that's why I started my first business. And I was doing all of my own marketing. And had clients coming to me saying, can you do my marketing? And I said, no, I don't have the time. Like if I did marketing, I wouldn't have time for coaching. I tried to find businesses to collaborate with and give them the marketing work. But every time I did, it just didn't work out. So in the end, I did end up taking on a few clients for marketing and it just snowballed. And now we have a full marketing agency and it has 6 staff now, I think. So that's how I got into social media marketing. But I think the thing is, like I have no degree in marketing, but marketing isn't what it was. And people don't understand that on social media, your job there is not to sell. Your job is to connect. Your job is to be social. That's why it's called social media. So if you go in there with this huge sales plan, it's not going to work. And most marketing agencies still drive that type of sale. And that's not what's happening in 2024. We're seeing user-generated content up by 70%, and it's not something that's about to leave. We're seeing TikTok grow rapidly because it's that user-generated content. It's real connection. People are being true. They're being real humans driving that force. So it's not about to go anywhere anytime soon. So ditch the old style marketing and get on board.
Thank you. How can businesses grow their business with social media marketing?
In an effective way. So I think the first step is don't just throw money at the problem. I see a lot of businesses just throw money at ads, and that's not going to work. If your social media isn't working organically, Throwing money at it is not going to fix the problem. You need to be driving true, genuine connection. And you don't have to be the face of everything. People think that that means they have to be on social media all the time, which is not true. If you have a product-based business, you can use the product in a lot of the images or videos and just do voiceovers. That's still real connection. Some of the most viral videos we see is actually people sharing their struggles, because I hate to break it to you, but people don't want you to actually succeed. Not a lot of people are happy when you succeed, but they're happy to support you if you're struggling. So sharing those struggles, I ordered 3,000 of the wrong pen, or this shipment's ordered and it's the wrong color, and now I don't know what to do. All of those little struggles are what we see really go viral on social media.
Thank you. How can we leverage that though?
Yeah, don't be afraid to share it. I think the biggest thing is, for so long in business, we were taught that we needed to be professional and we needed to put our best foot forward, and we were only as good as our last mistake. So we tried really hard to avoid sharing all the bad stuff that happens. And like, I own 5 businesses, and people think that you get to a certain point and you are successful and you don't have these mistakes anymore. No, I still have, I have more now. I get kicked more now than I've ever been kicked in my entire life. And it's about the resilience, right? It's how you solve the problem, how you handle the problem, turn that problem into the solution. Let that problem be the thing that makes you go viral. Don't just sit and be sad about it. Really use it to elevate your business.
Thank you. I find that I encounter a lot of issues in my business.
Yeah.
But what I find is that because I'm meant to be empowering people, I don't want to be sharing really like my struggles. Let's say when someone invites me to speak and then actually doesn't come through, or someone invites me to speak and, cancels last minute, or someone, let's say you have an appointment with and then they don't turn up last minute, all these different things. I don't want to be in the business of disempowering people. So I wonder, how do you meet this balance of, okay, I need to be vulnerable and share about my problems and my challenges alongside my successes so I can look like a real, authentic person, and at the same time empower people as opposed to disempowering? And the reason I ask this is because I have very infrequently, maybe I would say 2 times, shared something that I struggled with. And although I did find that people were reaching out to me, I just disliked that kind of attention based on negativity.
Negative, yeah. And I really don't like that negative type of emotion. I'm a very positive person. I like to sit in a positive space. So what I would say is, you use the negative experience, but you put a positive twist on it. So I'm the same. Like, I'll get on a call sometimes and whoever is meant to be there just doesn't turn up. And it's really disheartening, because it's your time that you've set aside for that person. You start to feel really undervalued, right? So there's nothing wrong with sharing that. But then I would say, so what I did while I waited for this person on the call was write an email marketing campaign, or I did this while I waited. I didn't just sit there and wait for 30 minutes. Like, I used that time wisely. So I'm turning that negative into a positive. And I actually think that that's more empowering, because a lot of people don't know how to turn that negative into a positive. And it was like, well, it did suck. The feeling sucked, but I got to turn it into a positive thing. And now I get to move forward. My day's over quicker.
I love how you said that. So are you saying that every time that an entrepreneur has a negative experience with something, they should, rather than avoid sharing that they should actually share that? What I find is that the really big leaders, when I'm talking big leaders, I mean like, Tony Robbins and all the big super leaders of the world, I have not seen really negative stuff coming from them. So I wonder if that's just something that we can do because we're not like at that level, or do you feel that we should all embrace that vulnerability?
Well, I think they do embrace that. Like, in a Tony Robbins talk, he talks about his struggles and where he came from and those things that used to unmotivate him and why that motivates him now. So they do talk about it. It might not be in such a negative sense, but they definitely talk about it. And they talk about, not just them, but the struggles their wives went through and the things their wives constantly have to deal with. So I think they are talking about it, but they're putting that positive spin, right? So it still feels empowering. It doesn't feel like a huge sob story and be sad for me. I think that's the difference.
Yes, I find that the difference that seems to come through for me is that they talk about that once they've overcome that particular situation. So let's say if someone is depressed or someone is, in a terrible situation, they talk about it once they've overcome it, not so much during the process of actually overcoming it and dealing with it in a bad way. So I wonder whether entrepreneurs should be encouraged to be vulnerable when they're actually going through that particular thing and they don't have necessarily a solution to it as well.
Yeah, so I think it depends who you are as a person. Like I'm not very good at being vulnerable. So I'm not going to bare my soul on social media if I haven't solved the problem, right? But if you're somebody that is okay with being vulnerable and you're okay with sharing that and you actually struggle with finding the solution, then I would encourage you to do that, because there's going to be a lot of people that give you some amazing solutions out there that help you through that process. Whereas there's going to be another group of people that aren't very vulnerable, like myself, and will share that negative with the positive. And I think too, as a leader, you do want to be empowering. So that's always how I would do it. Also, I'm such a problem solver, right? Like I did order 3,000 of the wrong pens and I was like, we'll just get a sticker. It'll be fine. And we just stickered 3,000 pens and we sent them out. Like it wasn't a big deal. And that's empowering in itself. I didn't wait a week. I was like literally 10-minute problem. It was my stuff up. Let's just order some stickers. Problem solved.
I really love that. I just feel like when you have like a really like massive event and then people look up to you in a certain way as if you have all the answers to everything, it feels quite hard to do it. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Now, in terms of other techniques for engagement in social media and attracting the right followers that have the money, that have the interest, they have the willingness to pay and to invest in you, how can you as a business attract the right clients to your business through social media?
So I think the most important thing that people need to realize from the start is it's not an overnight instant success. Social media it's a long-term game. It's about building loyal followers and planting a lot of seeds. And that's really, really, really good for long-term growth. If you do it really well, you'll see after about 2 years that you will get really good, consistent growth, right? And then you're like, but how do I get through the first 2 years? That's where you really do have to focus in and find those clients or find different ways to get your product out there. With product-based businesses, a lot of the time I recommend trying to find retailers to get their products into, to get that revenue income stream there while they build this other loyal following. Because most people don't have the deep pockets that you need for having these really elaborate marketing campaigns, especially when you first start out. So it's really important that you're going into this not expecting to be successful in 4, 6, 12 months, and you have enough money and enough stamina to know that, hey, this is going to be like a 12 to 24 month process before I really start seeing these results come back. I think that's the most important thing. And then the next thing is you have to be genuine all the time. Don't try and be somebody that you're not, because your followers will see straight through that. As soon as you stop being loyal to yourself, they will stop being loyal to you.
Thank you. In terms of doing paid ads, what would you say is something distinctive that you suggest to all small businesses to do as a strategy so they can differentiate from the rest and so they can attract the right leads that, again, have the money to pay, have the willingness to pay, and they are the right clients for that particular business?
So I always tell small business owners the first place I would invest in ads is through Meta, so Instagram or Facebook, because it has the lowest conversion. So it means you're going to get more bang for your buck, which is going to give you more data to drive through on other platforms. So what I would do is you go into your Meta Business Suite and you can go to content on the left-hand side, and it will show you all of your content. And straight away, you'll get a capture of how much reach, interactions, shares, likes that each of those posts had. And you can see down really quickly, right, which is the most organically engaging post. I take that post, I boost it for 7 days at $3 a day. So you're literally spending $21. Then I would say, okay, this is my target audience, men, women, whatever it is, age group. Set some demographics in there, see what comes back for that $21. Because a lot of the time, what clients will tell me is, oh, my ideal client is men in their 50s. And then we'll run a very broad ad, kind of, men and women. And it's actually women 25 to 35. I'm like, well, they are the ones that engage with the ad the most. So are you sure that's your ideal client? And then keep spending that $21, trying different ads and different demographics and see what comes back. Use the data in your marketing. Don't just assume. Never assume. It's all very data driven.
Thank you. What works best, video or image posts? And what kind of content should small businesses aim to leverage in their marketing to make sure that they get the right engagement? Because I think when you have a lot of engagements on your post, your cost per conversion tends to be a little bit lower. Am I right there?
Yeah, you are right there. So the more, and it depends on what type of ad you're running. So there's like engagement type, messaging, website visits. There's a lot of different types of ads. When I first start out, I always just use engagement type ads because this will give you the most broadest amount of data that you can continue to narrow down. And in regards to image or video, that's really dependent on where you want to run the ad. Meta will give you a lot of different options, but if your video explains the entire process and they don't actually need to read the copy, then I would go with a video ad, and you can choose that I only want to show it on Instagram or I only want to show it on Facebook. So you get that choice. With images, if the copy is really important, you want to run an image or a carousel ad because that is going to allow them to read much easier. I don't know if you've ever clicked on a video ad. It's quite hard to actually read all of the copy involved. So if your video isn't selling what you need it to sell, then you really need to be using images in those ads instead. And it's really important that you're driving them to where you want them to go. So if you want them to message you, it should say message me and have a message now button. If you're trying to show them more information or to book something, it should be a direct link to that page. Don't make them go and find it because you've already lost them. They're not coming back.
Thank you. What about for ticket sales, workshop ticket sales or event ticket sales? What kind of elements should the ad contain in order to be ultra effective and lead to actual ticket sales?
Yeah, so I actually just did this last week for one of my own events and definitely would recommend a personal image of you talking or you in a workshop, something along those lines. The link needs to link directly to the ticket sale platform so they can buy tickets straight away. And then the copy really needs to tell them what's in it for them. Don't tell them what you're going to deliver. Tell them how it's going to improve their life, their business, whatever is in it for them. That's what they care about. How much fun are they going to have? Who are they going to be surrounded by? Why do they need to be in this room? That's what the copy should be telling them. You need to give them no reason but to sign up.
Thank you. If you're trying to market a coaching program, what elements should the paid ads contain to be effective?
Yeah, so coaching programs, it depends on the price. If it's a high ticket coaching program, it's unlikely to sell through an ad. This is where your lead magnet needs to be really, really, really good. And you can have a lower cost paid type of lead magnet, kind of under $100, or a free lead magnet. And then that's going to be where you attract all of your leads and then go from there. What I find really interesting and where I see a lot of people go wrong with this is their ad will convert, will get a lot of clicks through to the website, but then there's this complete disconnect on the actual landing page. What's really important is if you use dark images, the website needs to be dark. If you're saying it's an ageless transformation, it needs to say ageless transformation on the website. It has to be cohesive. And if you're noticing you're getting a lot of link clicks and no conversion, no signups, nothing on your lead, there's something wrong with the landing page, right? They're loving the ad, they're disliking the landing page. So make the landing page reflect the ad. Don't go and change the ad because the ad is working. All right. So that's really important. Then the follow-up process, right? You've got those leads. You need to nurture those leads. It's also a numbers game. So if you know that you need 100 signups to make one sale into your high ticket program and you need to sell 5 of those high ticket programs, then you need to reach 500 people, right? So know your numbers so that you can invest that amount in your marketing to reach the correct amount of people in the first place.
Thank you.
In terms of targeting men and women, is it necessary to separate the copy and then the colors in a way that it appeals better for men and women and to be more effective?
It can. I don't find it always benefits the group, right? Usually they'll buy from you because of who you are. I get a lot of people sign up to me as women because they're like, you're the only business coach that uses blue and not pink and is a girl. Like, okay, right? So you can use that as a point of difference as well. If men are going to buy from you and you're a pink brand, they're buying from you because of who you are, not because of the pink branding. It's all in the messaging. If you find that you have a lot of different clients, right, in the same, even if they're the same gender, but they're just different people, run the same ad with 3 different lots of copy, targeting each of those groups of people. That's how you really connect emotionally and get what they want out of it, not what you're trying to sell.
Thank you. How can you target buyers as opposed to time wasters? Is there any way of finding those people? Because, for example, I was thinking, okay, maybe people who like Lamborghinis potentially be my market, but I prefer people who actually own Lamborghinis because they are definitely going to be able to afford my program. So how do you target super high ticket entrepreneurs with paid ads?
Yeah, so I actually find people that own the Lamborghini aren't going to invest in a high ticket sale. They're just not. And it's really interesting because they won't value you the same way a person that actually can't afford your program will value you. So it's not even, again, you've got to look at who is going to buy from you, right? It's probably not going to be the person that drives the Lamborghini. They're like, I don't need you. I drive the Lamborghini. What do I need you for? So if that's the person you want to target, why do they need you, right? How are you now going to change their life? And that's where you've got to draw in the copy. One of the things that I find that works really effectively for weeding out time wasters is putting the price there. A lot of different marketers will say, don't put the price, you give them the price later. I say, no, put the price there, because then they know whether they can afford it or they can't, and they won't book a call or they won't sign up because they know they can't afford it. And that saves you so much time and gives you better data, because then you know how many people you need to reach that can afford it, right? So again, it's all very data driven. Be upfront, be honest, don't hide anything. Don't let there be any nasty surprises. If there's a payment plan option, tell them that. They could be your ideal clients. They could really, really, really need you, but they just can't afford the payment upfront.
Thank you. And what if the program is so high ticket that you're not even sure that you could put that on the ad? How do you weed out the time wasters?
No, I think I've never seen a ticket item that I wouldn't put a price on, like even $500,000, put the price there, because if they know they can either afford it or they can't. Like that's 100%. I would be putting the price there, because no amount, if your ticket is that high, right? There's no amount of convincing on any type of call that you are going to be able to do. So you've just wasted your time anyway. So put the price there. It allows them to be like, I can afford $500,000 or I can't, right? I never see a problem in putting the price.
Thank you. What are the top things entrepreneurs miss out on when they run paid ads?
Usually they leave a lot up to Meta. They'll leave a lot of the automatic set features in play, which I would disagree with. Meta is a business. They're there to make money, okay? They're not there to help you. They say they are, but they are not there to help you at all. And it's really interesting. I ran an ad recently. It was like $35 for the week. And it said I would get 1.6K reach if I ran it across Facebook and Instagram. And that was the automatic setting. And we just wanted to run it on Facebook. So I unticked Instagram and it went up to 2K reach. So be clever. Understand that they aren't there for you, okay? They aren't there to help you. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I see. And people run ads and continue to throw money at it, even when they're not converting. And they think, oh, I'll just spend more money. It's because I'm not spending enough money. No, if you're spending $21 and it's not working, it's not going to work if you spend $2,100. Like, it's not how it works.
Thank you. What settings do you need to tick in order to have better targeting in Facebook, for example?
Yeah. So when I would go in, the first thing I do is take off automatic placement. It's like the first thing at the top. Untick that. You want to choose the goal you want. Do you want more website visitors? Do you want more engagement? Do you want people to message you? Don't let Facebook choose, right? Do you let Facebook choose what you're going to wear every day? No. Like, don't let them choose for you. Then as you go down and you're setting your target audience, again, it'll say advantage placements. Do you want us to show more people that might? No, I don't. I want you to show people who I want to deal with. So turn that off. And then as you go down further, it will say, do you want it on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger? And this is really important because not many people are going to convert in Messenger and not many people are going to convert in Marketplace. So almost instantly, I would take those two off. Now, if you know your target audience is on Facebook, and you've created the ad to be specific for Facebook, don't just run it on Instagram as well. Untick that. Only run it on Facebook or only run it on Instagram. And then go back in and create a different ad for Instagram if you want to target Instagram as well. That's what I would do. Don't just tick everything and have everything there because you're not actually getting any great feedback because it's been so automatically set up.
Thank you. How can you correctly target buyers that you know for sure, aside from putting the price on it? Because what I found often was when I was running ads before was that I was getting so many low quality leads. So how do you make sure you get only quality leads?
So I think knowing who you're trying to target is the biggest thing. And then in the demographic settings, you can really narrow it down. I also would recommend not having a really broad audience. I try and run ads with my audience size between 13,000 and 20,000. So I've really narrowed it down to a group of people I think are going to respond to my ad. And it's not just gender and age, it's those interests that are really important as well. So if I'm targeting small business owners, I might be targeting them in a certain town, and then I'm going to go into interests, and they're going to be a Facebook page admin because most Facebook page admins are small business owners, right? So you've got to be really tricky. Maybe they're interested in football. Maybe they're interested in wine. Maybe they're interested in animals. Like, you have to really narrow it down. It could be completely unrelated to what you're selling. It's about them. Right? Go in and find the people that usually buy for you. Who are the people that usually buy for you? Don't try and reinvent the wheel and create a whole new group of people. Target the people that are already buying. You know who they are. You know their interests. You know what they like. They all have something similar in common. Use that in your targeting.
Thank you. Imagine that you're running a property investor event. How do you make sure that you target property investors that have funds too? Like not just property investors who would love to have money, but they don't.
Yeah. So there is an option in there to have household income. So you can say household income above this. Are your property investors usually married? Are they usually engaged? How long have they been married? Like, there's those options in there. Use them, right? If you know your property investors' household income is above $300,000, then that's who you target through your ad. And it's going to lower the pool, but that's what you want to do.
I wasn't aware that there is a setting in Facebook related to household income.
Yeah, there is. There's in household income in different brackets and also marital status.
Thank you. How is marital status relevant?
Because sometimes, like, what we would usually find is that if you are married, you have two incomes, right? So maybe you can afford it more. Maybe you're more willing to invest. If you have children, you're usually more willing to invest in generational wealth. So it's those types of things dependent on who you're targeting. Maybe, and if you ran a different type of ad for single mums, right, that are ready to invest for their kids because they've got nobody else, that copy is going to be a lot different to families creating generational wealth.
Thank you. What psychological triggers or keywords are essential for effective targeting so that that copy kind of speaks to your ideal target market?
Yeah, I don't love pain point marketing. I know it works. It's very effective. Morally, for me, I can't get amongst it. So I don't do pain point marketing. It definitely works. If you don't know what that is, basically it's where you look at the pain points of that audience and you target that in the messaging. I don't target that. I put more positive spin on it, and I target how would those pain points be fixed. And I give them the fix to the pain point, right? Not necessarily call out the pain point. I'm talking about how it's going to feel once that pain point's relieved, all of the things that it's going to benefit them in their life in a day-to-day sense. And usually I'll even break down the cost to a cup of coffee a day. Like, this is all you would need to give up to sign up. You don't need to give up anything. Like, it's, you're trading something, and there's no success without sacrifice. So what are you willing to sacrifice?
What other hacks do you have for small businesses to make a significant impact with their business through paid ads?
Yeah, I think through paid ads is really important. Again, the organic approach is important first. That needs to be working first. And if you're really struggling on social media and you can't find your footing, do in-person networking events. Go out there and see what that real feedback is about your business, about your brand, especially if you're first starting out and you don't know how to have an elevator pitch or how to sell what you're selling or anything like that. You need to actually get your product out into the market and get that feedback before you can even run an ad. I get so many businesses come to me. I would say almost 60% of the business leads we get a week, we say are not ready for ads. Whether that's because your website's not ready, your product's not ready, your business isn't ready, your organic reach isn't enough, all of those things, because it's very cohesive amongst itself. And it needs to work as a team, okay? And you need to be ready for it as well. You need to be ready for that immense growth because it's coming.
Wow. So many fabulous insights. So hard to finish this amazing podcast. One last question. What's your message for entrepreneurs worldwide?
I think anyone can do it. If I've met a lot of different successful people, and no two of us are the same. The only thing that we all have in common is that we have enough courage to continually step out of our comfort zone and deliver our dreams.
Wow, truly spoke like a queen of social media.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential, so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.